Um, you know, I was kind of, I just tend to bring religion into a lot of stuff that I do. I was thinking this morning about why Ohio can be strong, and that's good. I mean, it's so good for just normal people, right? People are strong, and sometimes people we all have self-interest, everybody. I mean, and that's a downfall for all of us. I mean, having self-interest, I think, is never a great thing, but it's a reality, and the less we have it, I think, the better we do as a society. But then there are times when the sun kind of breaks through, and people just put other people first. And that is exactly what's happened here. Honestly, I could be emotional about this, because when I see great things and selfless things that are happening, it's just such a big deal to me, because that's what justice is. That's what my mother and father taught me, when I was a kid. Johnny, just don't look out for yourself. And, I fail at that, but I'm trying to do a better job of that every day. So I could have a good legacy, so my kids could talk about their dad to their children in a good way. I really think what you did here is just amazing. It really is. I mean, you put yourself at risk. We're not going to let you fail, even if we have some bumps along the road. But to change a system and to say that we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that a student, whether they're young, and that's who we generally think of as going to college, but now it's changing, right? It's changing in the 21st century. You see a lot of gray hairs going in your buildings now. In the community colleges, of course, for sure, because that's sometimes the lifeline they have. And to make a commitment that we would make sure these people are not lost. In a way, some were lost, but now they may be found. And you're going to give them what they need to have a good life. And that means that their kids are going to do better. It means their marriages are going to be stronger. It means our state will do better. And at the end of the day, you'll be role models for other institutions across the country. And we ought to talk about it. We ought to shout it from the highest buildings. And this isn't easy. I mean, it has to be implemented and executed, and we're not done. But we now can have a message. I was thinking, Gordon, when the great coaches go out into the living rooms and they recruit, and I don't know how they do it exactly. I've never done it, but maybe sometime I've got to go and listen. But you now can become recruiters. You can now tell mom and dad, you put your son or your daughter in our institution, we're going to take care of them. We're going to graduate them. I mean, that's a fantastic recruiting tool, it seems to me. And I'm just so excited about it. I do want to thank Dr. Brown. We had a wonderful time over at Zane State. I mean, to go over to Zane State and to see the opening of that building over there, Doctor, that you got as a result of the Capitol bill, which no one thought could be done, where we can share resources and prioritize resources. I just hope the members of the press can understand what's happening here. I mean, you have institutions that for the first time in modern times said, we can pass on the dessert today, and we'll give it to somebody that's hungry. And so you have a great thing at Stark State, you have a great thing at Zane State too, and I know there's more than that. I was down in southern Ohio and saw what was happening down at Rio Grande, and he said, you built that building? I said, no, I didn't build that building. The people who were running higher education in Ohio built that building. And in your work, Paul, to bring the community colleges into this fold enthusiastically. I was at a football game, and we were there with the president of Stark State. Where is she? And she said to Gordon, you know, not only do we have this money up here, but now we can change credits. And Gordon, I didn't know this. You know, I graduated from Ohio State, so I felt like everybody loves Ohio State, only to find out it ain't exactly true, okay? But the ability, this is why good things come from good things. The ability to have this transfer of credits means now that up in Canton and Akron, people feel connected to you. I mean, it's nothing but good. That's why I'm so excited about this, because it's good. And that's what we're all striving for. So the efforts that we've made, you know, have been extraordinary. I know that, I don't want anybody to think that this all has to be Ohio State-centric. I believe that Gordon, you know, now at 68 is looking for a legacy beyond being president of Ohio State. That's where I think his mind is. Maybe 10 years ago it would have been different, but it is different today at 68. You know, but when I think about health care, oh, Ohio State's got their stuff, and all over the state people have things. Let's face it, the greatest institution, or the most powerful institution for health care in Ohio is the Cleveland Clinic. I mean, it just is. Others are great, they do wonderful things. Cleveland Clinic. And when you think about higher ed, if you don't have the flagship of Ohio State, it's just not going to work. I mean, it's just a fact. And fortunately, we have a president that not only understands that, but he doesn't want to gloat over it, and we shouldn't gloat over it, but it's a great asset for us. You know, yesterday IBM announced their data analytics operation here. Think about this. We are going to have IBM's flagship, the only data analytics they have in the world. People are going to come from all over the world here, and they're connected to him. I saw the doctor down in Cincinnati, and we've been talking about whether we can do biopharma. Well, the time will come when another institution has to have the light shine on it, and we work together as a group. There's nothing but good can come from all of this. So I just feel, this isn't for me, this is for all these students that you have to go through your halls. And ultimately, I mean, we have other things to do. We know we've got to commercialize. I hope the clinic, who seems to be magic at this, Gordon, will give us some of their expertise. I saw Toby Cosgrove yesterday, the leader, the great one, and Ron was there. Dr. Ron was there. He talked about this medical corridor, which has been fantastic. You know, my sense is that the commercialization is critical. And the other piece of this, and I know you're into this, is Blaine Walter here? Blaine is the chairman of the Governor's Workforce Development and Training Board. This has never been created before, and Dr. Ron heard about it yesterday. We now have a board of business people who are committed to getting these businesses to forecast, to give us a sense of what it is, what these jobs are here in the 21st century. It's extremely difficult because there is a culture of, I don't know, if I get a call from the government asking me what my forecast looks like, I'd probably throw the call slip in the trash can myself. But we've brought business people in so they can bring credibility in talking to other business people. And here's why this is, I think, important to you. When a kid enters the doors, when a student enters the doors, they should have a menu list. These are all the things that you can do if you come here, if you graduate from here. What's the path you want to take? You know, you want to work at IBM, or do you want to work at the Cleveland Clinic or University Hospital in healthcare, or do you want to go and learn how to be on a wellhead or work at a processing facility for our oil and gas and liquids? Do you want to, whatever you want to be, here it is. I just went to Lorain Community College, and here's my list. And I'm sitting down with somebody, and your counselor will virtually check with me every week. You know, when I went to Ohio State, I met my guidance counselor on the day I entered, and he congratulated me the day I walked off the stage. It doesn't work that way, as we all know. So if we can give them a roadmap, we can not only get them the jobs that are available, they need, and the skills they need, but you'll be able to meet the targets that you set in here because people have a purpose in going to school. I mean, I remember The greatest motivation for me when I was getting educated as a kid, K through 12, is that my parents would not let me play baseball if I didn't make the honor roll, okay? I didn't understand till later that if I didn't get certain things, I couldn't be certain things, and then I started getting more motivated.